One way of changing negative emotions is to use a technique from neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis called collapsing anchors. In this video, I show you exactly how to do this yourself. Welcome to my channel, I'm Mike. Please you could join me. Please like and subscribe and you'll be notified of any videos coming up. Now, anchors are sensory triggers that become associated with certain states or responses. For instance, you see a red light at the traffic lights, you stop the car. It's automatic. Therefore, an anchor is the process of when a stimulus causes a response. Anchors are useful. Not actually essential. They help you to build associations and habits. Anchors can be visual, like the traffic lights we just talked about, or they can be auditory, police siren, or kinesthetic, a tap on the shoulder. Why is collapsing anchors useful? Well, anchors are not permanent, although it might seem that they are. There is a process in therapy called collapsing anchors, where you can break the association and cause new resourceful anchors. This is very useful when it is an unresourceful anchor. Let's talk about how anchors are formed in the first place. They are caused in many different ways, such as building up a habit. So think again about the traffic lights. The very first time you drove a car, you would have to think, red light, stop. Now as a seasoned driver, you do it automatically. Anchors can be caused by an event or a stimulus linked to a strong emotion. For instance, a certain song can evoke a pleasant memory such as your wedding day. If the emotion is strong enough, the anchor can be very powerful. For example, could be a child who is hugged when they fell over and banged their head. Now they unconsciously associate being hugged with physical pain and mental upset. So here's the process of collapsing anchors. Someone might have an unresourceful anchor, whereby they're comforting when they watch TV. You could remove this anchor so they no longer feel like they need to eat and watch TV. This could help them to lose weight. Also with performance fear like public speaking. Here's how to use collapsing anchors to cure the fear of public speaking. Do you have a fear of public speaking? You won't be alone if you did. But maybe you've got to give a presentation. Apparently it's one of the biggest fears for adults. People who can hold an audience's attention and deliver a credible presentation tend to do well in business. So how would you feel if you could cure that stage fright quickly and permanently? Now you might want to print off these instructions. They are on a blog post in the link and also in the description. Do read through it a few times so you can get the hang of it. And I've split it into different parts. First, preparation. 1. Think of a time when you felt confident and proud. One example could be you received a professional qualification. Write it down so you can remember. This is the resource anchor number 1. Next, think of a time when you felt relaxed. Could be when you were on holiday. Write it down so you can remember. This is positive anchor number 2. Next, think of a time when you felt really in control. Perhaps a breakup with a partner, you were finally independent. Write it down so you can remember. This is anchor number 3. The negative anchor in this case is making a presentation or delivering a speech. This is anchor number 4. Now anchor number 4 must have less emotion attached to it than the other 3 put together. So what this means is that all the positive emotions from 1, 2 and 3 must be greater than the negative emotion of number 4 when you add them together. So if you feel that the negative emotion attached to the fear of making the speech is more than the other 3 put together, then do go ahead and add more positive memories and more positive feelings and emotions. Now we come to the second stage, which is actually setting the anchor. So you will now go through each emotion one by one and anchor it. So first, get relaxed. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed. You'll need to be sat down in upright position. Now think of that time when you felt really confident and proud. But this time, close your eyes and imagine that you're actually there. Make all the sights, sounds and feelings come flooding back. And as you're at the peak of the emotion, just press on the left thigh, just above the knee. Now break your state, open your eyes, move about. Next, get back in the relaxed position again. Think of the time when you felt really relaxed, but this time, again, close your eyes. Imagine that you're actually there. Make all the sights, sounds and feelings come back. And as you're at the peak of the emotion, press on the left thigh again, just above the knee, in the same spot as before. And then break your state again by opening your eyes and moving about again. Then get into a relaxed position again. Now think of the time that you are really in control. Again, close your eyes and imagine that you're actually there. Make all the sights, sounds and feelings come flooding back. And as you're at the peak of the emotion, press on your left thigh, just above the knee, in the same spot as before. Now break your state, open your eyes and move about. If you need more than 3 positive anchors, then keep repeating this process with all the positive memories. Otherwise, you can go on to the next phase. This is collapsing the negative emotion. Now think of that negative thought, whether it's making a presentation, public speaking. Get really negative. Think about everything that could go possibly wrong. How embarrassed you might be. Once these negative feelings are right at the height, anchor the feeling by touching the right thigh. Very important. This is the other thigh, just above the knee. And then break your state, open your eyes and move about. This next step is really important. Get into a relaxed, tranced state. This time, just fire off both anchors by touching both spots on the right and left thigh at exactly the right time. Now for a second or two you might feel weird. This is because your neurological system is trying to make sense of having 2 opposite feelings going on at the same time. Now the way that the human body is that we can have 2 opposing thoughts at the same time. You can't have 2 opposing feelings at the same time. One has to win. This is why we have more positive anchors to outweigh the negative anchor. So as your nervous system chooses the most powerful emotion to feel, if you've done this right, it'll be the positive feeling. And if you've done all the other parts properly, the dominant feeling will be positive, and therefore that will prevail. And not only will you destroy the negative feelings associated with making a presentation or public speaking, you've now got new positive emotions attached to public speaking. But that's not the end of it. There's a final phase, and this is future resource. This is where you actually set and keep the positive anchor as a future resource to use later. So one final last time, get into the trance state, fire off your positive anchor on your left thigh. Then mentally notice that the feeling is concentrated in this one spot. Now mentally move the feeling up your leg, up your torso, and then down your left arm, whilst keeping this positive feeling. Move the feeling down into your fingers and pinch your thumb and forefinger together. Now, whenever you need this positive emotion, you can access this at any time by pinching your thumb and forefinger together. Also, whenever you experience intense positive feelings, you can reinforce and strengthen the positive anchor by pinching the thumb and forefinger. You can read more about this in books on NLP. I'll leave a link to my favourite book, which is the NLP workbook, and you can see a link down in the description below. So thanks for watching. I hope you got value from this. If you did get value from it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.